Hi, I'm Perry Atkinson, General Manager here at theDove. Hey, check out our other videos and check out our website at thedove.us. Well, welcome to Focus Today. I'm your host, Perry Atkinson, and wow, some great Christian films have been coming out in this year. In fact, it's almost been named the year of Bible films. Well, one that is soon to be released, I think you'll find it to be pretty inspiring. Delighted to have with us today Mike Davis. He's the producer of the new film, A Long Way Off, an inspiring story based on the prodigal son story. There he is. He's holding it up to the camera. Atta boy, Mike.
We got to promote every bit we can.
There we go. You're welcome to do it as long as you want to talk behind that. Go right ahead.
Okay. No. They might like it better.
There you go. Nice to have you with us. This is terrific. But isn't it interesting? We're getting so many Bible-based films out this year.
Yeah, I think it's, it's funny. I've been going to a number of events over the last couple of years, when we started A Long Way Off even, where it appeared that people in these events talk about, we need to make faith-based films. And I'm talking, AFM, APD, other, not necessarily faith-based events, or conferences, but there was a lot of people talking about, faith-based films and how they, have a connection and they have a solid base, kind of audience. Mm-hmm. And I think finally, to a certain extent, Hollywood is looking at it going, we should tap into those, quote unquote niche markets and those loyal audiences. I tell people, a lot of times I think as far as a genre, they're very different. But there's a similarity between horror films and Christian films in that those audiences are very loyal to those genres. And of course, you got to write and make stories and create stories that appeal to them and are in that, really understand that audience to make them. But I think that, Hollywood's kind of waking up going, hey, we're missing the boat here.
Okay, it's been interesting to watch because, on the other hand, it can be a very critical audience, as you well know, as to whether or not it's theologically correct. You know the drill, and we're coming through the whole thing with Noah. But on the other hand, they seem like they're opening their doors to more faith-based films.
Well, it's funny, historically, though, and, there was a period of time, and it's kind of like, I think we live in cyclical kinds of environments, and, in the 50s, I think it was, or 60s, there was a number of, the Ten Commandments with Charlton Heston and all these big epic films were made by Hollywood. And for a long time, they were kind of like the standard until you had The Passion and some other films that came out since then. But I think that you're right. I mean, the biggest problem that they have is, making them to the audience and really paying attention to, it would have been, I think Noah could have been so much bigger, perhaps, if they had done some things. I went to see it just because I had to. Mm-hmm. But, I think they missed the boat, literally, on some aspects. I think they could have, probably quadrupled their audience and their box office if they had taken a consultant that was an evangelical or, faith-based person to say, hey, follow these guidelines. And, I think it's important when you make films that you talk to people and get their perspectives. Right. And so that when you're telling the story, it's the best that it can be so that, A, you can obviously reach that audience. There's a number of elements. You got the spiritual element, you got the financial element, you got the production quality element. So all those things have to kind of all be juggled at the same time to make it work.
All right, tell us about Long Way Off, and it's coming to the screens May 16th. Tell us about it.
Well, there's a growing buzz about this film. I'm really excited, partly because I think of the success of some of these others. And A Long Way Off is the modern-day story of the prodigal son. It's and we've really tried to follow as much as possible, those 4 paragraphs or 3 paragraphs in Luke that basically talk about, this young man asks his dad for his inheritance and he goes to the big city and blows it. And then he has to come back and ask for forgiveness. And that's basically the story. But there's, in our rendition of it, we've kept, I think, pretty close to the biblical text, but also, of course, that we had to take some liberties in the sense that we don't know what happened when he went to the big city. It doesn't tell us what exactly he did, other than, he had was in debauchery and, lived a riotous life. So in our case, he gets involved with the mob, and, he some unsavory characters played by the very talented Mr. Robert Davi from Goonies and other films,
right,
and a very recognizable face. And so then, he loses everything and has to come back. And I think the moment that people are really tied in and really have a moment of reflection, and is when the father and the son reconnect at the end. And and I think we've tested this film and with a number of audiences, and I had a gentleman come up to me and go, you made me cry, Mike, and that doesn't happen often. So
wow.
Felt pretty good about that. And he said, I'm still waiting for my son to come home. So I think this movie appeals to people on a number of different levels, because either we were a prodigal, we are a prodigal, or we're a prodigal, know a prodigal, or waiting for a prodigal to come home,
How long is the film, Mike?
It's about 98 minutes.
Okay. And it's due out May 16th.
May 16th.
Where did you shoot it? Where did you put it all together?
It was shot right here in Raleigh, North Carolina, where I live, and in the Wake County area. Wake Forest, North Carolina, was a lot of the farm scenes were there. The big city that you see is actually downtown Raleigh, and we shot it mostly here. We did shoot a couple things, Sean Hannity from Fox News is in the movie, and so we did shoot up in New York with him, his scene, but the rest of it was all done in North Carolina.
Wow. Okay, well, coming out May 16th, we wish you the best. And how big of a showing you're going to have on the opening weekend? Do you know yet?
Well, that's there's a number of things happening. We've got a single song from the title track that's coming out to radio. We've got a Father's Day television special that kind of promotes some of the movie as well. That comes out right after Mother's Day on a number of television stations across the country. We'll also feature some of the actors like Jason Berkey, who plays the prodigal. He was in October Baby, and he's in this new another film coming out called Mother's Night Out. And so he's in that, and so he's in. We've got this Father's Day television thing coming out, and then I think the premiere right now is scheduled for about 40 cities, but I've heard in the last couple of days that it might grow from there. So we're hopeful that the more people that hear about it can start putting it on their calendars, looking for it, and you can visit us at our webpage, which is A Long Way Off the Movie. And this is what it looks like, A Long Way Off the Movie, or on our Facebook page, A Long Way Off. You can go there and like us. That would be fantastic.
Well, best to you, and congratulations, and thank you for doing it. What's next for you? What do you think you're going to do next?
Well, thank you for asking, because I'm really excited. Of course, I'm excited about A Long Way Off. That was a project that took me about 10 years to kind of see it really kind of finally be made. It's a story that I've always wanted to tell. I think because it is such a transcending. It's a story that's been obviously 2,000 years old, but I think culturally it is very applicable. And but for me next, we're working on a Civil War era film. We are going to shoot this summer. It's based on the actual diaries of a Union soldier called Joseph Hoover, and Joseph was captured and then escaped stockade prison camp in Florence, South Carolina, and him and a buddy, being aided by slaves, made it from South Carolina all the way up to New Bern, North Carolina. And we actually have his diary from 1864. And I'm very excited because we're shooting exactly 150 years after the fact. And all of this actually happened 150 years ago in 1864. And here we are in 2014. And we're going to shoot this, and it'll come out next year during the final year of the 150th celebrations of the Civil War, and so very excited about that. It's going to be a fun project. So
wow. Well, listen, best to you. Thanks for what you do. Keep up the good work, and we're excited about this. And as it kind of goes through the theater and you get ready to put it on television, let us know. We'll put it on the Dove TV network.
Oh, it's done. If someone could contact us or off air, whatever, and we'll definitely send a screener and get it going. We've got in the Father's Day special, we have Pele, the legendary soccer player, talking about his dad. Wow. A number of actors, Jason Berkey, Rusty Martin Jr. and his dad, who were in Courageous, are talking about the relationship of a father and son working in a movie. So a number of really interesting things. The Imperials sing as a whole. It's a fun.
That's wonderful. Hey, thanks, my friend. I love your energy. Have a good one. God bless you, pal. All right, see you later. We'll be right back.